We have made it to the midway point here in year number 3 of our Madden 22 franchise with the Philadelphia Eagles. It's been a great start to the season for the Birds, as we are currently 6-2 with the top record in the NFC. And our matchup today is at home against the inversely poor 2-6 Miami Dolphins, who have not had a great season. Before we get to today's game, we do have some stuff to talk about, including our bye week, in which we're going to do a very short mid-season overview, kind of. We're going to briefly look at the standings, stats, and award races. We also have a prospect profile today. We're going to go over the running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends in the upcoming draft class. So we're going to start at the running back position, and we have invested some high draft capital the past couple seasons in running back, including using a first-rounder on Tazewell Hubbard last year and a third-rounder on Rosemont St. Clair. With Hubbard playing well and St. Clair taking the world by storm in his second season, I think it's fair to say we're not going to really pick a running back early, if at all. So I'm going to get through the running back portion fairly quickly. There aren't any elite running backs like the past couple of years, but there are some good players at the top, including Chevelle Armadidou from Jackson State. He's the top projected running back in the class, but there are a couple other projected first-rounders. Arkansas's John Tate Whitaker as well. I find it funny that the Eagles are listed as a top fit for these running backs when, again, I've literally said we're not using a high pick or any pick on a running back. The other projected first-rounder is Westlake's Adam Rutledge. He's 6 foot 236, but he plays the game lean and agile, but he also has the size to possess pretty solid power, too. There are some solid day 2 and day 3 guys down the board, but again, we already have our bell cow back for the future, we have our receiving back of the future, and we have our power back, so we don't really need to go running back. Wide receiver is an interesting spot. We have Devontae Smith and Tykeem Keon, who are great. They've been phenomenal this season, but I'm not convinced we have our long-term third receiver. Obviously, Rosemont St. Clair has been great in the receiving game this year, but he's a running back. Chase Claypool is on the final year of his deal, and he's only played one game for us, so I don't really know what to expect. If Claypool plays well the rest of the year, we probably won't have to look at wide receiver, but if he doesn't, that may be an area we do look at in the draft. The top projected receiver is currently projected to go in the top 5. His name is Money Montique out of Alabama, the top projected receiver in the class. He does have some character issues. A lot of his Alabama coaches have regarded him as a diva. His high school coaches in the past have agreed with that. But Money Montique is a really intriguing player. He stands at 6'5" and possesses unbelievable athleticism. Players with his frame and athletic pedigree really don't go on trees, and that's why he is currently projected to go in the top 5. He's fast. He's a solid route runner, good hands, and of course he can go up and get it. Good jump ball receiver with his size. Overall, just a phenomenal prospect. If he can get the diva stuff out of the way, I think he could be a superstar. There are a couple later of the first round wide receivers, including Westlake's Dominic Porter. Porter's sort of a do-it-all guy. Doesn't really have any major strengths, but also doesn't have any major weaknesses. He's taken over as the number 1 receiver with the departure of Isaiah Thomas III, who got drafted by Green Bay. And I'd like to point out that Isaiah Thomas III has been a machine with the Packers this season. He's amongst the league leaders in receiving yards. Back to the point, Dominic Porter, solid size, solid athleticism, good hands. He's a very reliable target who, again, doesn't really have many weaknesses, but also doesn't have any major strengths. I could see him being a really good number 2 receiver for a while, someone who can play on the outside and in the slot. Jaysean Brown out of Illinois is a very interesting player. It'll likely be the second straight season that an Illinois receiver goes in the first round. Last year we saw Westafawu Iwosu as the second receiver off the board to the Bengals. Jaysean Brown is someone who possesses great athleticism. He's very fast. He has great leaping ability as well, and he's someone who has reliable hands. Good catching. He's especially good catching in traffic, which I find interesting. But he still needs to improve as a receiver. He's not a great separator down the field. He needs to improve on his route running, as he has an F deep route. Not ideal for somebody who you'd hope would be sort of a deep threat. The next guy we have here, another projected first rounder, is Jalen Argosier out of Mississippi State. A little bit on the small side, coming in at 5'10", but the production this year for the Bulldogs has been off the charts. Argosier has been one of the biggest draft risers throughout the season and has been the catalyst of a very impressive Mississippi State offense. The Bulldogs are currently undefeated. They're ranked as the number 5 team in the nation, largely because of Argosier, who is sort of this team's Deebo Samuel. Obviously, he's a very good receiver, but what makes him special is his ability with the football in his hands. possesses very solid athleticism, specifically some great speed, and I think he'd be a very fun player at the end of the first round if the Eagles don't retain Chase Claypool and want to look for a third receiver. Another player who I think would be a nice fit is Notre Dame's Trey Judah. A little bit under 6 foot, coming in at 5'11", but this kid really could be a great outside receiver despite his lack of size. Somebody who has great athleticism, great speed, and he's a phenomenal route runner down the field. A true definition of a deep threat, somebody who really stretches the field well vertically, and I think he'd be a good fit in a vertical offense with receivers like Devontae Smith and Tykeem Keon. If the Eagles do replace Jalen Hurts and get a quarterback with a stronger arm, I really think pairing them with Trey Judah could make a lot of sense. He's also very good with the ball in his hands, so somebody who I think would be well worth a first-round pick. As we go down the board, there are a couple of other good fringe first-rounders, such as Marion Sanders-Craig, Levante Shelvin, and Sebastiano Delano. I don't think they're as good of fits as the guys above, which is why I didn't really go in depth about them, but I do think they're all good players. As we go down the board, somebody I really like in day 2 is Ohio State's JT DeMarco, who is my sort of prototypical slot receiver. I like wide receivers in the slot who are a little bit smaller. DeMarco comes in at 5'10", somebody who is fast, but not just fast, also agile and quick and explosive with the ball in their hands, which is exactly how you can describe JT DeMarco. He is somebody who not only is fast, but also has exceptional quickness, exceptional agility. Needs to work on his route running a little bit. He's not the most polished player, but I think he'd be a great fit in our offense. He has some similarities to other slot receivers I've had in series in the past, such as Casey Shock from the Jaguars franchise, Lawrence Parnell in the Lions franchise, and if we even want to go back real far, Rashad Pickney in the Chargers series. I don't think JT DeMarco has the speed that those three guys have, so I think DeMarco doesn't have as much upside as someone like Rashad Pickney or Casey Shock, but I do think JT DeMarco would be a really good fit in my type of offense. There are a couple of other good, solid day 2 receivers, such as Shane Wirtz from Texas, Max Black out of Michigan. A lot of guys I really like. It's a deep receiver class, and it's very top-heavy. Probably the strongest wide receiver class we've had in this entire series. And then as we move to tight end, a sneaky need for us in my opinion. Dallas Goedert is on the final year of his contract, and ever since signing that extension back in Season 1, he has really underperformed. He only just hit the 100 yards mark back in Week 8, which is not ideal. So if we do want to go tight end early, our best bet is Corvusquie Ricks out of NIU. He's the only tight end currently projected to go in the top 100 picks, so it does look like a weak tight end class, but I do think Ricks could be really solid. He doesn't necessarily have the best athleticism, but he's a well-rounded tight end. Not only is he a willing blocker, but he is a good blocker. He uses his 6'7" frame to his advantage as somebody who can out-body smaller linebackers and safeties who are covering him, has a reliable pair of hands, and although he's not really a threat after the catch, I think he's somebody who can be a very reliable tight end and will be a capable starter on day 1. Although, as I said, it is a weaker tight end class, there are some guys I like down the board. Matt Canary, former Westlake Hornet, started his career in JUCO ball. Erling Falkenberg and Randall Frazier as well are some solid day 3 guys. I think if the Eagles choose not to retain Dallas Goedert, they're likely going to add a veteran to replace him. But maybe they do look to the draft and want to add one of those younger guys. So that will conclude the prospect profile on offensive skill position players. Let me know what you guys thought about them in the comments below. Maybe we'll draft 1 or 2 of them to spice up the offensive unit. So since we are in the bye week, we are getting the opportunity to rest our players some more or focus on extra preparation. I'm going to give them the extra week of rest. Obviously, we are coming off a loss, so you'd think maybe we would want to prepare more, but I do think our guys do deserve that extra week off because they've worked so hard this year, and we're 6-2. I do feel like getting a chance to recharge now is probably a good idea. We did show the standings in the last episode, so I'm going to breeze through them real quick because obviously they haven't really changed a whole lot within the span of 1 week. But here's a look at them if you want to see them. I do want to talk about the stats real quick. I do find it interesting that we have a top 5 offense, ranked number 5, and a top 3 defense, ranked number 3. So that shows we have a lot of balance as well. We've thrown the ball 248 times this year. We've ran it 248 times this year. So there's definitely a balance on both sides of the ball. There's a balance with passing the ball and running the ball. Obviously, Jalen Hurts has been solid this year. The run game, of course, has been great. Tazewell Hubbard's had a good rookie year. Rosemont St. Clair has been a machine, averaging over 110 yards of scrimmage per game. Tykeem Keon's had a great second season. Devontae Smith, when healthy, has been good, but he has had trouble staying on the field. And, of course, Dallas Goedert's been disappointing. Only 125 yards this year. As I was saying, he's barely gotten over 100 yards. Outside of Lane Johnson, the offensive line has been phenomenal this season. I do think Lane Johnson is a little bit checked out, but other than that, the O-line's been great. And the defense has been very good as well. Bobby Wagner has been flying around the field. TJ Thomas has outperformed expectations. Although the defense has struggled the past couple weeks, overall, that unit has been pretty good. I also want to breeze over the awards real quick. We don't have anybody in the MVP race, which makes sense. We do have Champ Britton in first for Coach of the Year, though. That's pretty cool. Taking a look at the other awards for the Offensive Player of the Year in the NFC, Jalen Hurts is in 8th. I feel like Rosemont St. Clair should be in that top 10, but he's not, unfortunately. CJ Thomas, first for Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think he should be first, but I'm not complaining about it. Tazewell Hubbard, 4th for Offensive Rookie of the Year. That makes sense. That's about where he should be. Jabari Achabe is first for Defensive Rookie of the Year. That is great to see, with Joko Onwosu coming in 9th as well. So we have 2 guys currently in the top 10. Great to see our rookies getting some respect. Jalen Hurts in 5th for Best Quarterback. I think that's fair for the most part. Rosemont St. Clair 6th for Best Running Back. No Tazewell Hubbard. I feel like they disrespected both Hubbard and Rosemont St. Clair there. St. Clair absolutely belongs in the top 3, but oh well. Tykeem Keon 2nd for Best Receiver behind Isaiah Thomas. Brendan Brooks, Lane Johnson, and Jason Kelsey all in the top 10 for Best Offensive Lineman. Again, I don't think Lane Johnson really deserves to be in the top 10, but Brooks and Kelsey definitely do. And then looking at the rest of the awards, Jabari Achabe is 3rd for Best Linebacker. Bobby Wagner is 4th. I find it funny that they're both being classified as linebackers when they both play very different positions. Jabari Achabe pretty much has 100% of his snaps at defensive end, but he's just listed as a linebacker. CJ Thomas 1st for Best Defensive Back. Again, I feel like they're being a little bit generous to him, but not going to complain about it. And then we have Zebediah Phoenix in as the 4th best kicker. I think that's fair. He has missed quite a few kicks this year, but he's also had some very long ones, including a 61-yarder last week, which breaks his career high. So it's great to see we have a number of players there in the award races as we look at our opponent, the 2-6 Miami Dolphins, who of course have Tyreek Hill now, but they recently traded away the disgruntled Jalen Waddle to the Chiefs at the deadline. So insert Tyreek Hill, but no more Jalen Waddle. This roster is very different outside of quarterback, as they still have Tua Tagovailoa in year 4. He just hasn't really developed. I imagine Tua will probably find a new team next year. They did draft Malik Black in the 2nd round. I think he's going to be their long-term guy, but Tua Tagovailoa is still the starter. So this is certainly a winnable game, coming off a loss and a bye week. We're going to be extra hungry, extra motivated, but we also had extra time off, so we're able to have our guys recharge for batteries, and we'll see what they can do here entering a big Week 10 game to try to get momentum of the season back on track. 6-2 is still a very good spot to be in, but in a very competitive NFC East where the Giants, Washington football team, and Cowboys all appear to be quite good, the Eagles need all the wins they can get, particularly here in the second half of the season. So without further ado, let's get this one underway. The 2-6 Dolphins taking on the 6-2 Eagles here at the link. Will the Eagles get win number 7, or will they be upset by the lowly Dolphins? So Miami will open up with the football. First down, first play from scrimmage. Tagovailoa connects up the middle with Michael Gallup to the 42. The Dolphins have a very interesting receiving trio of Tyreek Hill, Michael Gallup, and Will Fuller. And keep in mind, Jalen Waddle was in that mix until he got traded. 3rd and 2, a nice throw up the middle for Tyreek Hill, who gets it to the 29. It's going to be a tough task for Nehemiah Richardson today, who did struggle last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago against Kenny Golladay. But other than that, Richardson has been exquisite this season. 3rd and 2, short throw for an open Tyreek Hill, who has open space in for the touchdown. That was not Nehemiah Richardson who covered him on that play, but once Tyreek Hill caught the ball, was in the open field, I think we all knew he was going to score. So the Miami Dolphins drive down the field, get a touchdown. Not a great start for an Eagles defense who has been struggling as of recent. Tazewell Hubbard pushed down for a loss of 4 on the play. The initial contact from Hassan Reddick, finished off by Jalen Phillips. Hubbard has been inconsistent this year. He's been good, but he hasn't been able to sustain week-to-week success. On 3rd and 7, Hurts connects with Tykeem Keon, who gets it to the 35. Keon sort of has a new role. He's now getting some slot snaps with the addition of Chase Claypool. It's definitely taking Keon some time to develop, but hopefully he can play well today. On 3rd and 7, Hurts launches a bomb downfield. It's caught by Rosemont St. Clair inside the 20. But this one's coming back. It's an illegal forward pass against Jalen Hurts. That was a really good throw and a phenomenal reception by St. Clair, but unfortunately it will not count. So the Eagles punt it, and the Dolphins get the ball back from the 27. Tua finds an open Tyreek Hill on the out route to the 42-yard line. I know it's early, but the Eagles look flat so far today. They are not playing well on either side of the ball. 3rd and 8. Tua Tagovailoa under pressure, goes short. Hauled in by Harlan Tremblay, the rookie running back out of Texas, who only gets a couple, wrapped up by the fellow rookie, Joko Nwosu. So that'll lead to a 4th and 3. It'll be a 45-yard kick for the field goal team. The veteran Jason Sanders will drill it right down the middle, and the Miami Dolphins extend their lead as it is now 10-0. The Eagles have been sleepwalking here through the first quarter. They do not look good on either side of the ball. There's still plenty of time, and the Eagles are a significantly better team than the Dolphins, so I wouldn't hit the panic button yet, but I would start walking towards the panic button. 3rd and 3, Hurts scrambling, and you just can't miss that throw. He had Caden Smith wide open for a 5-yard dump-off and completely missed him. Eagles would punt again. Dolphins have it back as Tua misses the pass for Mike Gesicki. The Eagles' defense is starting to play a little bit better, but now the offense needs to start to make some plays. Hurts downfield, caught by Rosemont St. Clair, who has a block and is off to the races. A 53-yard touchdown, and the Eagles, just like that, are right back in the game. Rosemont St. Clair, who has been unbelievably good as a receiver this year, with another great reception, a great play for the second-year pro out of Kansas, who, as I said earlier, should absolutely be an Offensive Player of the Year candidate this year. That's how good he has been. So the Eagles make it 10-7. Dolphins have the ball back. Tagovailoa takes a shot deep downfield for Hill. It's incomplete. Phenomenal coverage by Nehemiah Richardson. But again, there's a flag. Roughing the passer against Philadelphia. They called on Winston Johnson. So it's an automatic first down for Miami. A massive break for the Dolphins. 3rd and 1 now. A pitch for Ronald Jones, and he is stuffed in the backfield. Josh Sweat and Fletcher Cox make the play. So a roughing the passer call proves to not be that big of a deal. And the Dolphins will have to punt it. The Eagles' defense now with 2 straight possessions of getting easy stops. So the offense gets it back. Tazewell Hubbard loses about 3. Hubbard has 4 carries for -2 yards today. He has not been very good. 2nd and 13. Now St. Clair is having trouble doing anything. He loses about 2 or 3. Wrapped up by Jerome Baker. And the Eagles' high-octane rushing attack has been a disaster so far today. 3rd and 15. Hurts has Devontae Smith, who drops it. The Eagles' offense just looks awful in this game. They're not running the ball well. The receivers are playing sloppy. Hurts has been not the best. The Dolphins' offense is struggling too, but they do connect here on a huge pass for Tyreek Hill, who brings it to the 7. It would have been a first down regardless, as the Eagles are called for another roughing the passer, this time on Terrell Burgess. So that'll move Miami a few yards forward. The Eagles are being sloppy with the penalties now, too. I mean, this is just a disastrous first half. Ronald Jones scores the touchdown, and the Dolphins lead this game by 10. 17-7 is your score. The Eagles have to start clicking on this possession, and they have time, about 2 minutes, and all 3 timeouts. If the Eagles can put up some points here, I think they can get back in the game. 2nd and 4. There's Tykeem Keon, who makes a nice play after the catch, getting around 10. Philadelphia calls timeout number 1. 2nd and 6 now, about a minute left. It's intercepted! Noah Igbenogany picks it off! A costly turnover there by Jalen Hurts, who underthrew his target, Devontae Smith. And the struggles are getting worse and worse for the Eagles. Now they're turning over the ball. 3rd and 10 for Miami. Tua goes short for Gesicki. He gets 8. Not enough for a first down as the Eagles call time. The defense is starting to play better. Minus the penalties, the defensive unit has looked a lot better in the second quarter, but the offense has to step up here on this drive. About 30 seconds left. Hurts has a wide open Devontae Smith. I don't know why he dove forward, but still a good gain as the Eagles call their 3rd and final timeout already, maybe using it a little bit prematurely. 3rd and 4th at 37. The Eagles are in fringe field goal range. I'm sure they'd like to get closer as St. Clair is open. Runs out of bounds for a gain of 13. A very high IQ play there by Hurts and St. Clair. And now the field goal unit will come out. A 41-yard attempt here for Zebediah Phoenix II. He sinks it. And the Eagles bring you within one possession. So I think all things considered, the Eagles have to be happy that they are right in this game. The Eagles have just looked sloppy so far. The defense has been up and down. The offense has been up and down. The penalties have been bad. That turnover was bad. But the Eagles are not out of this game. They're starting with the ball in the second half. And if Philadelphia can run the ball better, which is their big strength, I do think they can come back in this game. If they are really physical at the line of scrimmage and show that they really are the better team, there's no reason for the Eagles not to make a comeback. 3rd and 7 from the 33. Hurts connects with Dallas Goedert, who makes a nice play, breaks a tackle, and is wrapped up at the 46-yard line by Byron Jones. A nice play there for Goedert, finally getting his number called. Hasn't been able to make a lot of plays this year, but he does there. 3rd and 12 now. Rosemont St. Clair with another big catch. They do give him the first down. Rosemont St. Clair has 5 catches for 91 yards today, continuing to be far and away the best receiving back in the NFL. 2nd and 1. Tazewell Hubbard breaking tackles. There's the Tazewell Hubbard I know. He had 3 rushing yards on the game up to that point, now at 11. Wow, quite a big difference. First down for the 18. There's Devontae Smith, very close to the goal line as he brings it to the 2. Philadelphia is marching down the field. The offense is now finally starting to get into a groove. As on 1st and goal, Hurts calls an audible. Tazewell Hubbard slides in the end zone, and we are tied at 17. The original call was for an inside run, but Hurts recognized that the Dolphins had their whole defense in the box, so he audibles for an outside run, and obviously it works out as the right side of the field is wide open for Tazewell Hubbard to dive in, and the Eagles have tied this one up. Even though Philadelphia has really not looked good today, it's tied at 17. First down for Miami. Handoff for Ronald Jones up the middle. Nice run before being tackled by Burgess as Akeem Davis-Gaither is banged up on the field. Ronald Jones has also not been all that impressive today. The Eagles' run defense back to form after a poor game last week. On first down, Tua is intercepted. C.J. Thomas with his 5th interception of the year. There he goes down the field. Woo! Nice little move, still on his feet, and he brings it to the 7. What a great play by C.J. Thomas, who has been a ball hawk all year long. A bad throw there from Tua. He was under pressure, sort of threw it into no man's land, and now the Eagles have an easy opportunity to take the lead. It's Rosemont St. Clair who celebrates in the end zone for his 2nd all-purpose touchdown of the game. I hope you started Rosemont St. Clair in fantasy today, and if you didn't, what the hell are you doing? This guy's a PPR monster with all the receptions he hauls in. So the Eagles now lead at 24-17. 3rd and 4 for the Dolphins. Nice catch by Will Fuller, who is hit hard by Burgess, who's been all over the field today. Fuller does still get the first down. 3rd and 11 now from the 44. Tua Tagovailoa drops back to throw it, and he connects. A really nice throw and a great catch, once again, by Will Fuller, who's been quiet today but has stepped up on this drive. 3rd and 10 now. Harlan Tremblay is wide open up the field, gets the first down into the red zone, and now the Eagles' defense is falling back to their old sloppy mistakes of the first quarter. But overall, a good 3rd quarter nonetheless. The Eagles scored twice. They had a big interception from C.J. Thomas, and they had the lead. But the Dolphins are marching on the doorstep of tying this game. 2nd and goal. It's Rojo, Ronald Jones, and we're knotted up at 24. Jones had a big hole, that's what she said, from the left tackle and the left guard, and we are now tied at 24. The Eagles have it back. There's St. Clair, wide open up the field with a nice move. The Dolphins cannot stop this man. They can only hope to contain him. Another 100-plus receiving yard game for Rosemont St. Clair. First down from the 47. There's Tykeem Keon outrunning Javon Holland. Keon brings it to the 25. Jalen Hurts is 18 of 22 today. Although he's had some bad throws, for the most part, he has been quite efficient. 3rd and 4. Trying to get it to St. Clair, but it's broken up. Again, Javon Holland there to make the play, the former Oregon Duck. So it's 4th and 4 to 7. An interesting call here by the Eagles. You could go for it, but they will kick the field goal. The chip shot for Zebediah Phoenix is good, and the Eagles regain the lead with just under 6 minutes to go. Plenty of time for the Dolphins, whose offense has struggled since the first quarter, but they did score a touchdown on their last drive. 3rd and 2. Ronald Jones is stopped on the play. Akeem Davis-Gaither coming in to get the stop. Davis-Gaither, really the past 3 or 4 weeks, has really played well. And again today, no different. 4th and 1. Tua, incomplete. Deflects it off of Terrell Burgess' shoulder. So the defense gets the stop, and now the offense can chew some clock and finish it off. 3rd and 4. It's a screen for Devontae Smith, and he does get the first down, and the Dolphins are now starting to burn their timeouts. Miami is officially out of timeouts. It's 3rd and 11. The Eagles are chewing clock. Hurts looking to throw it. Interesting call. He goes short for St. Clair, who only gets a couple. I'm surprised the Eagles threw it there, but Hurts did a good job of just checking it down to the open receiver, make sure the clock ticks, and indeed the Eagles are going to run it out. A 45-yard attempt for Zebediah Phoenix with about 20 seconds to go. It is good. So the Eagles lead by 6. Under 20 seconds to go. The Dolphins are out of timeouts. Really, their only hope here is for a Hail Mary. Tua Tagovailoa does not have the strongest of arms. I would have put Malik Black in here because he does have a stronger arm than Tua. But Tua does remain in the game. For all the marbles, Tagovailoa heaves it deep, and it is broken up. The Eagles are going to win it by the final score of 30-24. It wasn't always pretty, but at the end of the day, a win is a win, and you'll take any win you can get in the National Football League, even if it was a sloppy performance against a bad 2-7 Miami Dolphins team. But I do give the Dolphins credit. They stood tough, even though their season has kind of turned into a lost cause. They definitely fought out there, and they definitely gave a lot of effort. We really struggled early in this game, but I think halftime was a big wake-up call for us. We realized that, yeah, we're better than these guys. We should come back and win, and that we did. Jalen Hurts had that really bad interception, but other than that, I thought he played well for the most part. Hurts has continued to avoid making mistakes this season. He's continued to keep the interception number low, which has been great to see. Tua Tagovailoa wasn't bad. He started off really well, but after the first quarter, really cooled off. Neither team ran the ball well. Ronald Jones had 80 yards and 2 touchdowns, but only 3.4 yards per carry. And our run game was just not good. St. Clair wasn't all that impressive in the run game, at least. Neither was Tazwell Hubbard. St. Clair was a beast as a receiver, though. 7 catches, 120 yards, and a touchdown. He just continues to be such an absolute monster for our offense. I think it's fair to say St. Clair is this team's best player right now. Fletcher Cox had his best game of the year in the run game with 3 tackles for loss. No sacks from either team. That's pretty wild. C.J. Thomas had that interception, which really changed the momentum of the game. Probably the biggest play yet. And Zebediah Phoenix, 3 for 3 on field goals, 3 for 3 on extra points, avenging his 2 misses from the previous game against the Giants. So that win will push us up to 7-2 as we have a tough road stretch coming up. Week 11 against the Bears, Week 12 against the Cowboys. 2 very strong teams. We've had a lot of postseason success throughout this series thus far. I think it's going to be a doubleheader next episode. I plan to play both of those games, which should be a lot of fun. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.